All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders at GMS that rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there fighting, doing his work with truth and sincerity. Back here again with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect men out there that are listening and watching these videos. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Get into the lesson. As we know, according to biblical prophecy, things that is happening upon the planet is because of prophecy. The scriptures say the Lord, he's about to visit the earth, which he made. So all the wrongdoings of the people, all the witchcraft, all the blasphemy, all the sorcery, all the inhumane things that's been taking place on the planet, the Lord's about to visit the place. His people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they are the true biblical Israelites. He gave them the laws, statutes, and commandments to go by. And our people has been lost, wandering around this planet, not knowing who they are, not knowing anything, because the God of this world has blinded the minds of the people. Where the Lord is about to bring evil upon this place. So a lot of things is happening in the world, in the news that you see on social media and things of that nature. It's because it's the doing of Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh Shai is going to come out with an angel to destroy this place, man. So you're seeing something about the food shortage and rumors of wars, which is going to lead up to words, and they're going to lead up to a hot war, which people going to really actually start going to war. You see? So, if you're not getting right, repenting, the only ones that can repent are the children of Israel. Again, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now, Israel has been scattered throughout the four corners of this planet. So they're going to come looking like other nations. But it's the spirit within that person, right, that rests with the spirit of the scriptures, which is Yahweh Shai, because he comes in the volume of the book, resonates with that spirit, then you're an Israelite, and hopefully that you would one of the hopefully leg of the nation of Israel, because beginning of sorrows and great tribulations is coming, man. There's a lot of things on this planet that's about to take place, and the Lord is going to bring it. So all the stuff that's happening with the rumors of wars is going to build up to an actual war. The winter's going to be colder. You know, a lot of bills, electricity bills, a lot of bills is going up, but the wages, the minimum wage is not going up. Hyperinflation. So there's a lot of things that's going to attack from all different ways, because the Lord is bringing his righteous indignation upon this planet, and he's only coming to deliver the elect of his people. Right here in 2 Ezra 16 and 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, because you're hearing rumors of wars. You have little small things that's happening here and there, but it's going to ultimately lead up to a major third world war, a nuclear one. So people going to be, this is the beginning of all of this that's mentioning, or that's mentioned in the Bible. It's going to take place presidentially. It's going to take so president on the planet, so you're going to have to need a higher power to deliver you from this. And the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. The powers, the people, the top elite banking families, the people that run the planet. They're going to be in fear of this, because it's going to get out of their control. They're going to control some of it because the Lord is using them. As it says in the book of Psalms, that Esau, the so-called white man, Edom, Esau is the whooping stick of the Most High, Yahweh, right? And his son Yahweh Shai. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evil come? And right now it's important that you adhere to the words of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai through his men that he sent out to speak unto you, to teach unto you the words of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. I'm going to jump down to 74, 2 Ezra 16 and 74. Hear, O my beloved, talking about the Israelites. You are the beloved of the Most High. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the beloved. You see, that come out of the house of King David. Hear, O my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, meaning look, The days of trouble are at hand. And all that I mentioned, man, it's going to get worse. Things about to get very interesting, like Elder Apostle Around Live video is named, that I was just watching a little bit of. So we can't go into this enough to warn you people, man, because when things start to come to a head, it's going to be too late to want to listen. It's going to be too late to want to adhere to instructions at that point. Now is the time to get this and to build our faith. Hear, O my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, of you not feeding your kids, man, or feeding yourself, of not having no shelter, no protection. You see, especially no spiritual protection, because you're not sowing anything to the spirit. You're sowing everything to the flesh. So what you reap is what you sow. What you sow is what you reap. But I will deliver you from the same. Those who's going to adhere to the words of Yahweh while Yahweh side, they're going to do what they need to do as putting on the elect, going out doing videos, going out on the highways and byways, proclaiming the names Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. All right. Making yourself a spectacle, and to repent and turn back from your wicked ways. The Lord power is going to deliver the elect of his people. Now we're going to be in the midst of everything, but the Lord he going to have to put another spirit upon us to be able to cope and deal with what about to come on this planet. You got this pipeline that Biden said if Russia do this or do that, that Biden administration was going to do something about that pipeline that's over there that's leaking in the Baltic Sea. So Russia sees that. So a lot of things is transpiring because it's going to lead and build up to a great war that's going to end our wars. And if you're not right, then you're not going to be delivered out of it, man. And then for the men of the Lord, that's out there, because they don't want the Israelites in their new world order. You see, they'll have you as slaves, some of you. But then if you're speaking against their agenda, you're speaking against things that you see like this, could all go lead to the C-hip, the Karagma. They're going to start throwing people in concentration camps, going to start throwing some people in prison. The men of the Lord out there, if you're speaking against what they're trying to do, then you're going to go to jail for a certain amount of time, however long it's going to be. And the men of the Lord, they definitely want to get them off the street corners, because why? It's putting a damper into their plan, so to speak. You see, they call this hate speech. This is the words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. This is Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, because the Lord is going to try the whole planet, you Israelites included. He's only concerned about the Israelites. The Israelites is what you need to be concerned of, man. Those who wake up out of sleep and turn back to the Heavenly Father and Son to the best of their ability and come out of this place mentally. You see? So the world's going to be tried with that C-hip, that Karagma. You see? Because thou hast kept the word of thy patience, meaning we endured to the end of this preaching. We endured to the end of going out on the highways and byways, doing what the Lord told us to do as servants. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. I will keep thee from the hour of temptation, because this go tempt a whole lot of people on taking this C-hip, because they're going to tie it into a monetary thing, meaning that in order for you to get your paycheck, it's going to be transferred over to your C-hip. In order for you to buy, sell, or trade anything, you're going to have that mark, the MARK. You see, MOTB, C-hip. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to be able to function in society. But it says, since you kept the word of the patience of you, because thou had kept thy word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The Lord is going to shield and protect those some men, women, and children, the elect of the nation of Israel, from this temptation that's about to come upon this planet, from the time of Jacob's trouble, from the times that society is going to start erupting here shortly. You see, he's going to keep the elect from that, because they endured to the end. They took hold of this word, right, and guarded it with their soul, that guarded it with their life. And the Lord sees that. And then in time of need, since you've been sowing through this in your spiritual bank account, then he's going to remember you, man, in his time of wrath. That's why we pray. I pray, Lord, please remember me and my children in the time of your wrath. You know, we're supposed to pray every day, always, man. Ask for forgiveness. Ask for spiritual things, man, to build your faith up. You know, that's what I need as well. I'm not exempt from none of this. None of us are. We don't know if we're part of the elect. What we're doing, what the elect would do to the best of our ability, which shall come upon the whole world. This is the whole planet Earth, to try them that dwell upon the earth. This could be a very trying time, along with chaos and government corruption and people going against people and invading each other's home for lack of food and bread. So the women, the females of our nation, you're going to get it the baddest. And the so-called, well, the boys of our nation, because you're not a man. All this money you got and all this wickedness that you continue to do, you're going to remember that these men of the Lord was telling you these things, man. So the Lord's going to keep us from the hour of temptation. Lord willing, we part of the 144,000 to be delivered up out of this place, man. And there's nothing the Lord can do. Yahweh Shai can save at any given moment. They could do anything, man. They can save us from all this and shield us from it. There's nothing impossible that the Lord can do. Isaiah 59:1. Behold, meaning look, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither is his ear heavy that it cannot hear. He hearing the prayers and the somber prayers that's going up, that piercing the clouds. He hear them. He hear those out here crying and sighing for the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. So the Lord's hand is not shortened. Oh man, Apostle Ronloff said he said something, man, and I wrote it down. Oh man, I forget how did he say that? In other words, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it can't save. He can save us from any situation because he's the one causing it. So it's not impossible for him to deliver you out of these situations, man. You see, there's an example here in 2 Kings chapter 3. I'm going to read down to 6 where it talk about these lepers, these leprous men. This was during a time of famine, you see. So it says 2 Kings 7. This is an example of how the Lord, because we don't know how he's going to we don't know how he's going to do what he do. But sure enough, he fed Elijah with was he Elijah? I think he fed with the raven. You see, he always kept those who follow him and fed them. He's fed the whole children of Israel wandering in the wilderness, man. You see? So his hand is not shortened that it can't slack, because the times will come where everybody's going to be tried, man. And we're going to be in the midst of it as well. And we're hoping that the Lord is with us, you know, and having that faith in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. 2 Kings 2:3. And there were four leprous men at the entering of the gate, at the entering in of the gate. And they said to one another, why sit we here until we die? Because there was a famine in the land. You had the Syrians. You see, and then say, if we say, this is what the lepers, if we enter into the city, then the famine is in the city. So there was a famine in the city. And they was debating, they was talking about, well, if we go here, we enter into the famine, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we also die. Now therefore come and let us fall to the host of the Syrians. So they was talking about, well, we sit here, we go die for sure. Now there's a famine going on. If we enter into the city, we surely go die. And they was like, well, if we go and turn ourselves into the Syrians, at least we can get some food, or try to, or just die by the hands of the Syrians, right? It say, if they save us alive, see, we will live. And if they kill us, we shall die. Because they thinking in their mind, they go die anyways because of the famine. We turn ourselves in, we have a chance of living. Maybe we can eat. If not, we turn ourselves in, we go die. Because in their mind, they're thinking they go die just sitting here anyways, right? And they rose up, verse 5, and they rose up in the twilight to go into the camp of the Syrians. This was during the time of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. So they was walking like, okay, man, this is going to turn ourselves in. We got to just try our chances, man. Right? For the Lord had made thee a host. For the Lord had made the... So when they got to the camp, they was expecting to get either killed or taken in, being captured. Maybe they'll feed them. But they didn't have a clue that the Lord was setting this up. So it says right here, verse 6, for the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, talking about the Syrians, lo, the king of Israel has hired against us the kings of the Hittites, the so-called Africans, and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. So the Lord had them hearing things, and they was thinking in their mind that the Hittites and the Egyptians was coming up against them. You see? The Lord had them delusional in their mind. This is the power of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Whom the world so-called God named Yahweh, and whom the world so-called Jesus Christ named Yahweh Shai. You see? Right here in verse 7, when they arose and fled in the twilight and left their tents, talking about the Syrians, after hearing these noise of chariots and horses, you see? So they rose up and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their life. So the Lord had them delusional in hearing things, make them bug them out, and they fled the scene thinking all this was taking place. They thought the king of Israel had hired the Hittites and the Egyptians to run down on them, so to speak. You see? And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver and gold and raiment, meaning clothes, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and hid it. You see? So they was thinking that since there's a famine going on, let's just turn ourselves in over to the Syrians, and we just go from there, basically. If they kill us, hey, they kill us, man. But we can't sit here because there's going to be a famine. But as they was approaching, the Most High had the Syrians hearing noises, thinking that the king of Israel had hired the Hittites and the Egyptians to come upon them. So they left everything there. And the leprous men who thought the famine was going to overwhelm them, they found food and they found money. You see, that's the power of the Lord, man. And they went and said to another, we do not well. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now, therefore, come, they will make go and tell the king's household that they found that food was there. But this is the Lord's power. This is the point I want to make through the spirit of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. This is the power of the Lord, man. And then on top of that, when Esau come like a flood because he's coming with troops. Oh, that's another. Yeah. That's okay. That's one. He gonna come with troops knocking at your doors, snatching you up out of your homes. You see? Beginning of sorrows and pains and evils are coming to this place. The Lord is going to show you that the so-called white man is the devil. He's going to show his horns unto you. He's going to come into your homes, taking you out of your homes, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So right here in Jeremiah 18:22, let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them. For they have digged a pit. Jeremiah 18:21. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, you see. And they go kill them and let their wives be bereaved of their children and be widows, because they go come in slaying, utterly old and everything, man. And let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. There's a sound of battle in the land, in the planet. Things about to get real bad, man, to the point since you trusting in this system, the Lord's going to turn you over to this system, man. But again, his hand is not slack. His hand is not shortened that he can't save you. We talking about the elect of the nation of Israel, and I hope that I'm one of those men to be delivered with my children, man. Because we see through the spirit that this horrific judgment that's about to come upon the planet, you're going to have to need a higher power to deliver you from it, man. Let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them. The Lord will have Esau to come with his troops and everything, man. And you're not going to have or know which way to turn to or which way to go. Because you've been avoiding, you've been wanting to live the way you want to live, so to speak, but not returning unto Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai and repenting for your wickedness and your offense against Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. So a troop will come at your door. You got those Gurkha troops, the UN troops will be deployed here. Some of those foreign troops are lying dormant here already. I remember years back they had foreign troops. They come probably back and forth over here because the times are going to get crazy, man. And we are here warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans about what's about to transpire. But you don't want to take heed. Like Apostle Ron Live video say, things are about to get very interesting with the food prices steady going up. The gas prices. The reason why I think the reason why the gas prices. I was talking to one of my clients. He said part of why the gas prices are down because Biden is going into the reserves, but they're not. But they're going to stop tapping into the reserves over here. Prices are going to go back up. Food prices is going to continue to rise, and you're not going to have enough to be able to cover your bills and food to feed your family. So therefore, you will be slain by the sword, and the family going to get you. Talking about you Israelites. And see, and the Lord will have where he go come to dragging you up out of your homes by these troops and things of that nature, because he go put you in these concentration camps. You see, these internment camps. So let a cry be heard from their houses when thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon them, for they have digged a pit to take me, a trap, and hid snares for my feet. And we warning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of this. Now, for the men of the Lord, that's spiritual, we know this man can't do nothing unless the Most High allow him to take us. And if he do take us, he's going to do a miracle to get that man out of that situation, man. This is John 19:11. Yahweh Shai answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. So we're not worried about this man trying to come and round up us and put us in prison or whatever the case may be. Because it's up to the Lord, Yahweh Shai, to put the spirit upon that man to do that. But 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're not going to have a covering because you being sottish, not want to listen and adhere to the message that being conveyed unto you that can save your soul. Yet still, you continue to waltz around this planet living the way you so-called want to live. So the Most High can put the spirit upon this devil to come around you up. So no authority is going to be over us except it were given from the Most High, man. You see, we will put our trust in the Lord. Yahweh Shai answered, thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it was given thee from above. Therefore, he hath delivered me unto thee, hath the greater sin. You see, so it's up to Yahweh and the son Yahweh Shai that will allow this man, Edom Esau, the so-called white man, to have power over his elect. You see, it's not up to him. It's up to Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. So this is a quick lesson, man. Just thinking about what's taking place and watching videos, constantly reading, staying watchful, staying prayed up, because the times we are living in are going to get evil, man. It's going to get, it's going to get bad out here, man. So Lord willing, I hope this is edifying until the next time. I should say, Shalom.